Hi everyone. Welcome back to Speak English with Sophie, where we help you practice your English skills in a fun, conversational way. I'm Sophie, your host for today.
And I'm Chris. Great to have you all here with us today. We're super excited because we have a fascinating topic to discuss: sustainability and the future of our planet.
That's right, Chris. Sustainability is such an important topic in today's world, with climate change, pollution, and overuse of resources affecting our planet. More and more people are starting to talk about it, and it's something we all need to understand to help create a better future.
Exactly. Today, we'll dive into what sustainability really means, how it's connected to our everyday lives, and what we can do to live more sustainably. And you know what? Sophie and I will even share some personal experiences on how we've tried to help with sustainability in our daily lives.
Oh yes, but before we get into that, let's go over two important vocabulary words you'll hear throughout today's conversation. First up, we have the word sustainability. This word refers to the ability to maintain or continue a process over time without depleting resources or harming the environment. You'll hear this word a lot as we talk about how to live in a way that protects the planet for future generations.
And the second word is ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms, like plants, animals, and humans, interacting with their environment. So, when we talk about ecosystems, we're really talking about the delicate balance that allows life to thrive on Earth.
Great words to keep in mind. Now, let's dive into our discussion on sustainability and the future of our planet. And we'll sprinkle in some of our own stories to show how easy, and sometimes challenging, it can be to make sustainable choices.
So, Sophie, when people hear the word sustainability, they often think about things like recycling or using less plastic, but it's actually much broader than that, isn't it?
Absolutely, Chris. Sustainability is really about creating a balance. It's not just about reducing waste or conserving water, it's about living in a way that meets our current needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs. It's about harmony with nature, society, and the economy.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. One thing I find fascinating is how sustainability can be applied to so many areas of our lives, from the food we eat, to the clothes we wear, to how we produce energy. It's all connected.
Exactly. And you know, Chris, I've been trying to be more conscious about sustainability in my own life. For example, I started a little vegetable garden at home. I was inspired by how much food production contributes to carbon emissions, so I figured growing my own vegetables would reduce the need to buy produce that's been transported long distances. Plus, it's kind of fun.
That's amazing. Sophie, I bet it feels great to eat something you've grown yourself.
It really does. And it's such a small step, but every bit helps. Plus, it's made me more mindful about food waste. When you put so much effort into growing something, you definitely don't want to throw it away. How about you, Chris? How have you incorporated sustainability into your life?
Well, one thing I've done, and it's a little less green thumb-y than your garden, is I made the switch to biking for my daily commute. I used to drive to work, but I realized how much that was adding to my carbon footprint. So, now I ride my bike whenever I can. Not only is it better for the environment, but it's also a great way to stay active.
Oh, biking is such a good one. I've heard a lot of people are switching to bikes or even electric scooters to cut down on emissions. How's it been for you?
It's been great. At first, it was a bit of a challenge, especially on rainy days, but I got used to it. Now I can't imagine going back to driving every day. And on top of that, I'm saving money on gas and parking, so that's a nice bonus too.
That's awesome. I love how both of us have found different ways to live more sustainably. And that's the thing, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Some people might start by reducing their plastic use, while others, like you, might choose more eco-friendly transportation options.
Right, and that brings up a really important point. Sustainability is also about education. People need to understand the impact their choices have on the environment, and that's where podcasts like ours come in. We're here to make learning about these things easier and more accessible.
Speaking of making sustainable choices, let's talk about some other ways that people can live more sustainably in their everyday lives. What's one thing you think is important, Chris?
Well, I think one of the easiest things people can do is reduce their energy consumption. That means turning off lights when you're not using them, unplugging devices, and using energy-efficient appliances. Simple actions like that can really reduce your carbon footprint.
Absolutely. Another big one is food. The food we eat has a huge impact on the environment. For example, did you know that reducing meat consumption can lower greenhouse gas emissions? Eating more plant-based foods, even just a few times a week, can make a difference.
Yeah, and that's something I've been working on too. I haven't gone fully vegetarian, but I've started doing meatless Mondays, so at least once a week, I make sure my meals are entirely plant-based. It's actually been easier than I thought, and it's kind of fun to try new vegetarian recipes.
That's fantastic. Chris, I've tried something similar. I aim for 2 or 3 meatless days a week. I started small and then built up from there. And what's great is that even small changes like that can have a big impact if lots of people do them.
Right, and something else we can all do is reduce waste by reusing and recycling more. It's so easy to get caught up in a throwaway culture, but when we stop and think about where that waste goes, we realize how important it is to reuse what we can and recycle properly.
Exactly. It's all about creating less waste and finding ways to use things longer, whether that's clothes, electronics, or even food scraps. I've actually started composting my food waste at home. All the veggie scraps from my garden go into the compost bin, and then I can use the compost to enrich the soil. It's a perfect cycle.
Wow, composting is such a good idea. That's something I haven't tried yet, but maybe I should. It's great because it not only reduces waste, but it also helps keep your garden healthy. I love how everything comes full circle with that.
Yes, exactly. It's all connected. Just like sustainability itself, the key is to make small, mindful changes that fit into your life. Whether it's biking to work, eating less meat, or starting a garden, every step counts.
Now, while individual actions are important, we can't forget about the role of governments and corporations in driving sustainability. After all, they have the power to create large-scale change.
Absolutely. Governments can set policies that encourage sustainable practices, like investing in renewable energy, enforcing environmental regulations, and promoting public transportation. They can also create incentives for businesses to go green.
And corporations, especially big ones, can have a massive impact. Some companies are already leading the way in sustainability, reducing their carbon footprint and switching to renewable energy. But, of course, there are still many companies that need to step up.
Yes, and as consumers, we have the power to influence these companies by supporting businesses that prioritize sustainability. Choosing to buy from brands that are environmentally friendly sends a message that we care about the planet and expect companies to do the same.
That's so true, and with the rise of social media, people are more vocal than ever about their expectations for corporate responsibility. It's amazing to see how consumers can push for change just by making their voices heard.
Yes, we've definitely seen some positive shifts in recent years, but there's still a long way to go. It's important that we all stay informed and continue to advocate for a more sustainable world.
So, Sophie, what do you think the future holds when it comes to sustainability?
That's a big question, Chris. I think we're at a turning point. People are becoming more aware of the issues, and we're seeing progress in areas like renewable energy and waste reduction. But there's still so much more to do, especially when it comes to reducing our carbon footprint and protecting biodiversity.
Yeah, I agree. I think if we keep moving in the right direction, making smarter choices as individuals and pushing for bigger changes at a societal level, we can make a real difference. It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely possible.
Absolutely. And it all starts with education, right? That's why we're here today, to help people learn more about these important topics and improve their English at the same time.
Exactly. Speaking of learning, before we wrap up, let's go over 5 key words that we introduced during today's episode.
First, we have sustainability. Repeat after us. Sustainability. Sustainability refers to the ability to maintain or continue a process without using up resources or harming the environment. Here's an example. Sustainability is key to ensuring that future generations can live in a healthy environment.
Next is ecosystem. Say it with me. Ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms interacting with their environment. Example sentence: the forest is home to a diverse ecosystem of plants and animals.
Our third word is carbon footprint. Let's break it down. Carbon footprint. Your carbon footprint is the total amount of greenhouse gases you produce, directly or indirectly. Example, driving less and using public transport can help reduce your carbon footprint.
Fourth is renewable energy. Repeat after me. Renewable energy. Renewable energy comes from sources that can be replenished, like wind, solar, or hydropower. Example, solar panels use renewable energy to generate electricity for homes.
And last, we have recycling. Repeat. Recycling. Recycling is the process of converting waste into reusable material. Example, by recycling plastic, we can reduce the amount of waste going to landfills.
Great job, everyone! Keep practicing these words, and don't forget to use them in your daily conversations. The more you practice, the better you'll get.
Exactly. And thank you all for joining us today for this important discussion on sustainability. We hope you found it helpful and inspiring.
Yes, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to Speak English with Sophie and follow us on social media for more English learning content.
And as always, stay curious, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.
Bye for now.
This is the end of today's episode, but remember, learning English doesn't stop here. There's so much more to explore, so make sure to check out our other episodes to keep your English journey going. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and stay updated with our latest lessons. Keep practicing, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode. Happy learning!